Hey, what's good in the hood, everybody? This is Chef Greg back once again to talk about the Pump Kit, my pop-up micro commercial kitchen. I know it's been a while. I wished I could have gotten back to you guys a little bit sooner. I had some legal things I needed to straighten out as far as with the Pump Kit, as far as making sure that I protected it. But also, I'm getting ready to move, so my house is in complete disarray. It's up and down. I'm out here with the dog right now, just watching her while I'm going to go ahead and update you guys on some things. So I think the last time we talked, I was updating my GoFundMe. Please, if you haven't gone to my GoFundMe yet, please ask you to do that. Take a look at what it is that the Pump Kit will provide. Take a look at what it is that the Pump Kit is all about. Again, it's a pop-up micro commercial kitchen. If you own a food truck, if you work in a restaurant, if you own a restaurant, if you've ever had any desire to own your own food service business, I have put together an innovative gourmet kitchen, mobile food service, mobile food stand for under $6,000, where you can go out, man, and you can live your dream of being chef. Me, I'm going to be Chef Greg here soon, of having your own food service business. Again, I'm going to be running mine through a Square POS, point of sale system software. I'm a no or contactless food provider, which means I won't take any cash. Again, that's for your protection. It's for everybody's protection that you don't take any money. There's 1,000 different ways that you can take payment electronically that you don't have to actually take paper money. But in any event, man, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is I haven't really gone over the different items that you need. It's a total of 11. Actually, it's 12. I'm out here in the middle of winter time right now. This Alabama chill is out in the air. And again, you want to be able to be comfortable. You want to be able to um, do what it is you got to do inside your tent and not be bothered by the elements. Of course, that is what the first thing does, the Vevor tent. Again, I'm using a 9 by 8 by 8 Vevor um, inflatable spray booth. Now that's what it'll be called on Vevor's website. If you look down below, I have all of the brand name websites. I have those links down below, as well as my links, my GoFundMe link, my TikTok and my Instagram link. Please share this information with anybody that you know would like to start their own restaurant. Share this information with anybody that you know, because again, the Pump Kit is about freedom and power. You're going to be given a business that you could start for under $6,000. That's already a proven concept. you know, Cook food, sell food. McDonald's makes $25 billion a year selling hamburgers and fries. You could do the same thing. McDonald's has roughly 38,000 locations around the world selling burgers and fries. Well, the Pump Kit can do the same thing. 38,000 locations could be blessed with the Pump Kit overnight. And I don't mean delivered overnight, like Santa Claus, but those orders could go in very quickly. And I'm sure that Tyfer and Vevor and Instapot and Anova, they have those things in inventory that they can send out as many as they can. But let's get back to what I'm talking about. So the Vevor spray tent, 9 by 8 by 8, again, is a very small profile, because again, what you're looking for is very small profile so that you can get your mobile food service into as many opportunities as possible. In my particular jurisdiction, of course, I'm required to have a prep kitchen, but again, all jurisdictions are different all over the world. I can't imagine that that's going to be too different, but at the same time, again, do your research, find out what it is that you need. And if you're already in the food service business, you already know pretty much what it is that you need. But the other items that, again, that Vevor's tent, it does a couple of things. It's very durable. It's designed to be outside. It's designed to be manhandled. It has built-in filtration already, and it's designed, of course, to keep the elements out and keep pollution out. Keep it out of your kitchen. That's exactly what this tent does. The next item on the Vevor's list, I would say, is my prep table. I have a 48 by 30 inch foldable stainless steel commercial kitchen prep table, and it has a second shelf down below. Now, ideally, I would like to want to say I want to have two tables, but again, for me to be able to run this by myself or with a backup person, again, spaces at a minimum, that 48 by 30 inch prep table is going to be perfect length and perfect width for what it is that you need. I should already know, because I've already tested it here at my mock-up here at what soon will be my old house. All right, the next item that I have on that Vevor list is the 62-pound self-dispensing ice machine, and it's also self-cleaning. Now, the reason why it's called 62-pound, because it can create, and you would be able to store 62 pounds of ice in a 24-hour period. Now, running a restaurant kitchen, having access to ice is mandatory. Even in mobile food service business, it's mandatory. This is a countertop size item, so it won't be anything that will be overly sized that you can't maneuver and move around, and of course will fit on the provided table that I've already discussed, the 48 by 30 inch stainless steel foldable prep table. And then finally, what we have is we have our 50-liter dual zone car refrigerator. Now, again, on my list, I have 2 of these. And the reason why you would need 2 is for storage, to maximize your level of storage. But there is a reason why, is because these things everything I'm telling you guys about are portable. The car refrigerators are actually on wheels. So one of these refrigerators you should be able to take into your store or wherever it is that you're buying your meat or buying your proteins or buying your food. And then that way you can transfer them direct from cooler straight to your car refrigerator that has your control panel, display panel, where you are actively able to set, control, and monitor the temperature that you're moving around the store with your food in. You're not walking around with it in the basket for however, where you don't even know how long you're walking around the store. Your food is in a protected area in your cooler until you get it in your car and transport it to your prep kitchen and get it prepped, get it prepared, and then ultimately to the pump kit. But then, of course, again, the reason why you want 2 coolers is because, this is much more easily moved than just getting one huge cooler. Like I could get a 115-quart cooler, but now I need to be able to transport that cooler. And even though it's on wheels, I need to be able to get it into the backseat of my car, or get it into the trunk of my car, or get it up into the van. And again, we're talking about portability. We're talking about accessibility, and we're talking about freedom of movement. So we're not trying to do anything too big and too heavy. All right, so we took care of the tent. We took care of the prep table. We took care of the ice machine. We took care of the car refrigerator. And I want to say there's one last thing on that VEVOR list, but I'm thinking that that's it. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to a next, and that's going to be TYFR. Now, TYFR is extremely important, not just because of the TYFR Dome air fryer. Let me slow down a little bit, and that's TYPHUR. Again, all the links for all of the websites are down below. Links to all of the manufacturers' websites are down below. Please, don't just click on them. Follow them on follow their social media sites on Instagram, TikTok, and X. I know that you guys are going to go out, and because they have all of these great deals right now, you should be rushing out to finish up whatever you don't have already. These videos are geared towards my TYFR, people that already follow TYFR, already follow VEVOR, already follow ANOVA, already follow Instant Pot and the like. So when you guys see these, if you already have some of these items, you only have to add a few more items in order to actually be able to have your own mobile food service business, and at that point, you're halfway there. So again, take advantage of what it is that the manufacturers are putting out here during the holiday seasons as far as discounts, discount codes. I don't have access to any of that stuff. I'm a brand new newbie on the scene. I'm just the creator and innovator of the world's most innovative mobile food business. So other than that, hopefully one of these companies will reach out to me and at least offer me some product so that I can show you guys in full scale, in real time, what it really looks like. My prototype mock-up actually existed by some items that I was able to purchase on my own, but I couldn't afford all of them at this point in time. Again, I'm a father raising a family, trying to do the best I can, yada, 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 yada. But anyway, man, so we've moved on to TYFR. TYFR, again, is responsible for that TYFR Dome air fryer, which of course we utilize to air fry our vegetables and our proteins, to finish our proteins. We're not doing anything from raw. We're doing them after we have completed the process already through a sous vide bath, which we'll talk about in a second. But the other thing that TYFR provides us, probably the most important thing that TYFR provides us, is their wireless digital meat thermometers. Now they have several different packages. They have a single, they have a double or dual, and then they have a quad. I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at the Quad. And the reason why I'm looking at the Quad is because for the price, you get 4 wireless digital meat thermometers that act independent or read independent of each other. The case that they come in, and again, you can go on their website and you can look up the Quad Sync, excuse me, the Sync Quad, excuse me. The Typhor Sync Quad is what it's called. You can look that up and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. But what's so important about these wireless digital meat thermometers is because they are integral in what I have developed as far as monitoring temperature, monitoring temperature of my proteins. That is mandatory for my jurisdiction's health department as far as being not only being able to control and set temperature, but I need to be able to monitor, and I need to be able to monitor at all times. That's where the Sync Quad wireless digital meat thermometers come in play, because I'm right out the gate. I've already got 4. I can buy 2 of those now. I have 8. You use these as many as needed based on what your needs are. In this particular scenario, say we're doing burgers and fries, I need to make sure that that ground beef stays to temperature and it maintains the temperature that I have set. That is, comes from the store into my cooler, transported all the way through into the through salting it down into the sous vide bath, into the chill, into another refrigeration, coming back out to reheat and then sell for consumption. I need to be able to track that all the way through. I can do that with these wireless digital meat thermometers. I can take one. That one I can then vacuum chamber seal, and then the rest of those will follow suit. As long as I know the temperature of that one of my test, the rest of those that's in that sous vide bath or the rest of those that are also in that same cooler should all be the same temperature. I can safely say that all of those are at the same temperature. That's the key. Wireless temperature monitoring redundancy. I've given you 5 levels of redundancy, right? Or excuse me, 4 levels of redundancy right there just with the Quad Sync. Then, of course, I've added the cooler where you can actually set temperature and monitor temperature, not just on the display panel, but the cooler also has wireless has an app where you can also monitor temperature via the app. If that cooler's in your back seat, you don't have to turn around and look at that display panel. Now you can if you can do it safely. You've brought your vehicle to a stop, you're at a stop, and you can turn around and look, or you can very easily just flip up and look at the app, and it'll should tell you what it is exactly that reading is. If you want to look at the app and then verify on the display panel, well, again, that's just redundancy. Those are just levels of redundancy where you're verifying the temperature that you have set. Then finally, for Typhor, we have the instant read digital probe, and that's basically it's instant read digital probe. I shouldn't have to explain that to people that are already following along with Typhor and following along in these culinary concepts and following along in the food service business. You put that instant read in, and it'll give you an instant read of what it is the temp is. So that's the one more level of temperature monitoring redundancy that Typhor gives me the comfort. It gives me comfort in knowing that all of this stuff is being monitored correctly, which means now I can now take detailed notes as far as every however many minutes. I think I'm set every 12 minutes between purchase and all the way through the whole process. I won't go through that again. But you can set it for however it is, or your health department will set it for whatever it is that you monitor and that you log every so many minutes. What your temperatures are, just to maintain and make sure that you don't get shut down and that you don't make anybody sick. That's what's most important. I should reverse the orders of those things, of course, so that you don't get anybody sick and that you don't get shut down because you're not being clean. You're not following code. So then, now that we've moved on from Typhor, let's move on to Anova. Anova is an item, as an appliance that I have not yet been able to get my hands on. I see now that Costco carries this Anova Culinary Pro, which is the commercial grade immersion circulator from Anova. It handles, man. I mean, it heats that water so much faster than everything else. I have a Breville. The problem with the Breville, of course, is that there is no way that you can set the temperature and monitoring the temperature actually on the device itself. Where you can do that, the display on the Anova is incredible. You see me with these sunglasses on, but they're prescription. So that basically is telling you that, yeah, the Anova display, I really do need to be able to look and see right away, to make sure that that sous vide bath is maintaining the temperature that's supposed to be at, especially once I have my proteins inside of it, in the sous vide bath. So anyway, yeah. So Anova, again, you can guys go to their website and you can click on the link below. It'll take you directly to the appliance that I am supporting or that I'm endorsing. And then now that we've done with Anova, and the other thing about Anova is that it will heat more water. It actually will heat up to 24 gallons of water, and that's a tremendous amount of water for someone who's trying to run a commercial mobile food business. Because again, say I'm wanting to do racks of ribs. Well, now at 24 gallons of water, if the tank is right, I could be sous videing up to 4, maybe 5 racks of ribs at a time. And if I'm only selling 2, 3 bones at a time as my rib plate, or 4 bones, I mean, that's a lunch. I only need 4 racks of ribs, maybe, unless, but I know they're going to be delicious, so I probably need more. But as far as what it is that I'm taking out there in the pump kit, what it is that I'm looking to move before I have to go back to the store and start the process all over again. If I have the storage, if I have the size vehicle where I can load everything up, where I can have a day's worth of supplies, that's fine. But you don't want to run into a situation where, you're up against maybe backup batteries or something like that. You want to be able to move your foods and your proteins as quickly as you can in order to make sure that you stay in compliance without it becoming a headache. If you practice a steady habit, or you have a strategy, stick to that habit, stick to that strategy, and then that way you will have a perfect flow and everything will go as smoothly as it can. So now that we've moved on from the Anova, we're going to move on to Instant Pot. Now, Instant Pot, I'm always going to have 2. For the number one reason is because I can sous vide with Instant Pot. So if it is that my Anova immersion circulator is already handling, we'll say 4 or 5 racks of ribs, in my 8-quart Instant Pots, I can be sous videing my vegetables. I could be sous videing, another, protein that comes in at a different temperature, like hamburgers. As opposed to 145, 155 degrees, my ribs are at 167 to 190 degrees. I have to take a look at it. I can't really remember. So don't quote me on that. But yeah, they still have to be at different temperatures, but that Instant Pot allows me to do that. The other thing that the sous vide provides is the same thing that the Anova, which I actually neglected to speak on, is that it provides me my dishwater. I'm able to superheat water to upwards to 195 degrees with both of those devices, the Instant Pot and the Anova immersion circulator. I'm able to heat that water up to whatever the mandated temperatures are for dishwater, which I believe is 110 degrees. So that's never going to be a problem. It's just an issue of having enough wash basins in order to do that. My clean, cool water situation is not a problem at all. That's really just a huge water bottle turned upside down with a water spout that will flow into a tub. The wastewater can flow into a tub. But my hot water is key. And with the sous vide, either with the Anova or with my Instant Pots, I'm able to achieve that and maintain that throughout the day. So the other thing with my Instant Pots is, again, I'm able to I can reheat things in the Instant Pot. I'm also able to use it for breakfast, where I can boil eggs and do egg bites, things of that nature. And again, being able to superheat water is key in a food service environment. Cannot go wrong with being able to have as much superheated water as you can. And then we have finally EcoFlow. Now, EcoFlow is one of those things that I hadn't really talked about yet. And I can't say final because there is actually one more thing that's the most important of all of them. But EcoFlow Wave 2 is a combination heater air conditioner that, based on the research, based on what I've seen on the YouTube, is incredible. I mean, it's a heater AC unit all in one. The portability of it and is incredible. I mean, just the size of it, you can just move it. And in that size tent, again, you don't need something that's so big that's just in your way. You need something that's going to tuck away and have maximum, it blows out maximum air. And in that short space, it should be able to heat or cool very quickly where you don't have to continue to run it. Again, all of these items, all of these appliances that I've referenced have have their own app. You know, all of these things can be monitored and controlled very easily via app via my tablet or my smartphone or my laptop. And that's within the pump kit itself. I will have that workstation set up to the back because again, we're operating with a Square POS. But in any event, the last thing that I need to talk about is Anchor. Because in order to power all of this, you need a power station. I probably should have said that first, since it is the most important part of the pump kit, the power station. Because you can't even blow up the tent if you can't plug in the blower. I'm going with the Anchor Solix FX 3800. It is a 6,000 watt out the box electric portable power station. It is able, you can, buy backup batteries or extra batteries that will get it up to 12,000 watts. But the beautiful part about it is that right out the gate, it also has its 120 volt outlets. That's 6. I mean, that's pretty much everything that I have that I've named that I would need to be able to plug in at some point. It's solar panels where I can increase the amount of power, to recharge, to keep it recharged. But it also has battery backup, just like the cooler does, just like the EcoFlow, my air conditioner / heater does. But yeah, all of those items, again, I don't really have to go too deep into them because, again, I found information about all of them on YouTube, and I'm going to suggest that you do the same, that you go on YouTube. But that is the pump kit. That is the Pop-Up Micro Commercial Kitchen. I have done little short videos where I've shown you what they look like, via a cart. I've taken a picture or a screenshot at the shopping cart with those items. And I've posted them around on my Instagram page and on my TikTok page, my social media pages. Again, please share this with everybody that you know. I'm sure even if they're not interested, they may know someone that is interested, because again, this is a revolutionary approach to the food service industry. Right now, we're going to be in that mobile food service lane, but very easily we'll be in that food truck lane, because now if you're a food truck operator, you could literally take your food truck, let that be your prep kitchen, and for the price of that food truck, you could get 9. You could open up 9 of these pump kits around whatever city that you're working in right now, or get licensing so you can have exposure in other cities, in other states if you want. If you're a food truck operator, you can now expand your business. You can now scale your business, whereas you could not do this before. Not in this manner, you could not. Period. You couldn't. If you're a restaurant owner, if you own a brick and mortar restaurant or a brick and mortar a diner or a brick and mortar grill, now you can do the same thing. You can expand your exposure, expand your reach into neighborhoods that aren't far from where you are. I'm going to be setting up in a neighborhood, man, that, is the hood. I'm going to stick mine straight in the hood. I haven't shot any video of it yet because, I would like, when I get there and when I set up there, I want those videos to be, I don't want them to be videos where I'm building. I want to already be established and already in there. I want to be 100% mobile. And I'm not 100% mobile. Anchor, if you're listening, if you can help me out, and I know all of you guys have discount codes, and I know all of you guys are offering amazing discounts, but again, the pump kit is about being able to start your own food service business for under $6,000. That's so cheap. It's so cheap to be able to start a restaurant or food service business for under $6,000. But for $6,000 out the pocket, I don't have it. I ain't got it, and a lot of people don't have it. But once I get started a little bit, I can start hustling and make money where I can get it. But right now, that's not it. So Anchor, if you're listening, if any of the manufacturers that I've mentioned today are listening, and you feel the need to empty out a little bit of inventory, and you want to ship something my way, please feel free to contact me. All of my social media is nfoodies, and that's the letter N, Foodies, FOODIES 001, and that's it. At gmail.com is my, nfoodies001 at gmail.com is my email. But across social media, again, it's nfoodies001. I appreciate you guys very much. I'm probably going to be doing videos where I'm going over each one of these items one by one, as far as how it relates to, getting licensing, because once this weather breaks, hey man, it'll be festival season and it'll be food truck season. And that's what this is all about. It's about getting this thing licensed in your jurisdiction so you can be out there making some money. Am I wrong? So yeah, man, I'll be doing putting out some more content. Like I said, I know it's been a minute, Go Dogs, if you guys can see that. And if there are any Texas fans out there, hey man, I don't know what to tell you. That hasn't been said already. You know, there used to be a time that I was complaining about my team, and I'm not saying that that's a complaint about your team. But under the old regime, I used to always complain that my team can't get a 4th and inches, and they can't stop a 4th and 3. That's not my Bulldogs anymore. So any of you guys that want to come, and after you've done a tailgate, you set up the pump kit for a tailgate, man, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm tailgating. I'm gonna be tailgating all this weekend because, like I said, we're moving. So this new area we're going in, I'm gonna go a couple of blocks away from my house, and we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. If I have to set up a gas generator, I'm gonna do that. It's not ideal, but for right now, it is what it is. Again, that's how I'm gonna hustle to get a full pump kit. I got to hustle to go make it happen. But back on that Georgia thing, go Dogs.